everyone and welcome back to a new writing vlog. It is now the 9th of December. Wow, it's December. This year has passed too quickly. Anyway, it is the 9th of December at 11:39 in the evening, so I've taken about a week off from writing and from making these vlogs. I ended them with the last day of Nano, in case you missed that. And I haven't been writing in the past week, but I have been brainstorming a couple of things. I have a Christmas story, or a double Christmas story, actually, sort of, that I'm brainstorming, and I'm gonna hopefully put some more work into tomorrow. And Marcus and I have started outlining book 2 in the Witch series, the duology that I started on in November for NaNoWriMo. It's going really well. Like, I'm realizing things I'm gonna have to change in book 1, which I expected, and book 1, as it is, isn't perfect anyway, so it's not like this draft is the draft. I knew that I'd have things that I want to change, and now with how book 2 is gonna play out, there are gonna be a couple more things that I need to change, and I'm really looking forward to it. Not maybe the act of changing it itself, but book 2 is gonna be intense. Like, very intense. Possibly more intense than book 1. Well, definitely more intense than book 1, actually. And I am really looking forward to getting it started. I am using the same outlining method I did last time, so for book 1, which is the 3-act, 9-block, 27 chapters method. I found it through Kittytastic, and I'll have it linked down below for you. So far, we have outlined the first 6 chapters, so we have 3 more chapters left for Act 1. The only reason we're breaking now is that we need to go to bed, because again, it's 20 to midnight, it's time for sleep. But it's really gotten me hyped to write this book. I want to know more about it before I start though, so I'm not going to start until we have more of an outline, which I'm also hoping we'll do tomorrow. So tomorrow is hopefully going to be a lot of creativity, but this is coming together pretty nicely. I have, however, I'm going to link a tweet down below to how well this outlining is going. Outlining is actually going pretty well, but sometimes my brain doesn't quite brain, especially when it's this late. And I know I had a line in the outline for book 1, which was, Leo helps her see things with his eyes. And I have reached the same level of goodness already in this outline. So I'm going to link the tweet down below because it was kind of funny. But yeah, that's where I'm at today. I am very excited to be getting back into this. And like I said, I have been brainstorming a bit this past week, but not enough that it felt worth making a video out of. I'm going to have a link down below if you want to see the video where I announced the first book in this series, or in this duology, in case you want to hear more about the premise for it, as well as a link to my Nano wrap-up, in which I talk about the Christmas stories. So if you want to see those, I'll have those linked down below for you. And yeah, with that, I should go to bed and hopefully start doing this earlier tomorrow than like 10. Anyway, thank you for the night. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Hello everyone. It is now the 10th of December at 12:35 noon. So I'm definitely starting this a lot earlier than I did yesterday. As you can tell, I'm also in my office, or I don't know if you can tell that, but I'm definitely not on the couch anymore. So I haven't really been using my office at all since I got the boot, or since I had my surgery, just because it's been really difficult to sit straight up and down, and I still don't know if I can do it today, but I'm gonna give it a go. 3 things before we get started. First of all, do you all remember Ernie? Ernie is a little cactus guy who we got right before Nano to help me with my witchy story. They sold him at my local store, and I could not have him. Now the cacti family has now been expanded, and I would now like to introduce you to Rudolph, who is just too cute, and he is my second son now, so hopefully he will help me with my Christmas story. I'm not getting cacti just to help me write, but very, very cute. Second of all, I did some thinking about the Witch's story, book 2, yesterday when I'd gone to bed, and realized a couple of problems. One of them being that a character that is in the first part of book 1, and who will be, or was supposed to be, in book 2, hasn't made herself known for 6 chapters, because I forgot about her. And I only forgot about her when I introduced another character that I also knew was going to be part of book 2, and gave that person the same power as the first character, and was like, oh, how come I haven't given anyone this power before? It's such a useful power. I have given someone that power before, and that person I'd forgotten about. So Yeah. I have some work to do with that. But the outlining process for the witches stories seems to be working really well when I'm doing it with Marcus, and it's just such a big story and a big world, and it's quite complex, and so I need to talk through that, and I need to talk through that with someone who responds. I could potentially talk through it with the camera, but it really benefits me when I get, a response back. And right now, Marcus is busy with other things. I keep hitting my own face. Right now, Marcus is busy with other things, and so I'm gonna sit down now and work at the Christmas story. Work near the Christmas story, and outline this in a completely different way, because why not? So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna take you along on the process and try to not show you the entirety of just how messy my desk is. Maybe I should try to tidy that first. We'll see. But yeah, let's start working on this story, and I'll take you along with me as I work on this story that I'm working on. I'm great. Alright, so I'm great at framing myself. This is actually way too low, but I can't be bothered to fix it right now because this tripod is just kind of weird to bend. Anyway, I have now pulled out this, which is just a blank corkboard from IKEA. It's great. Not sponsored, but I got that. I printed out some of the, I made sort of bullet points, what I want to happen in the story. Some of this is brainstorming, just ooh, and then there could be a thing that happens. And some of them are actually the things I want to happen. So I got that. I've got some post-it notes. I've got some pins to stick them on the board. Pen. And I'm gonna start putting these notes on these post-its. I should probably bring out another color as well, because if you've seen the outline I did for April and Other Fools, it's currently standing in that corner and you can't really see it. I'll show you it later. If you've seen that one, you will know that I just grabbed a whole bunch of different color post-it notes and used them interchangeably. What I put on them obviously wasn't interchangeable, but I didn't color code anything. It wasn't that yellow meant one thing and purple another. I just ran out of yellow and then grabbed purple and so on, which makes the outline look like there is a point to there being different colors, but there actually isn't. Now, with this story, I am going to have 4 points of view for 2 stories that are actually intertwined. I don't know if I'm just making this really difficult for myself, and I don't know if explaining this is going to go well at all, but basically there are 4 people in my story, all of whom are going to be point of view characters, at least I think so right now. These 4 people are or will be 2 couples. So, Spock. They're going to be 2 couples. So, the boys and the girls, because this story is queer, and that's the way I like it. So the guys are going to have one story and the girls are going to have one story, but since all of these people know each other or will get to know each other, they are going to be featured in each other's stories, and the stories take place at the same time. They both take place in the month of December, the same year, the same dates. Now, I'm not saying just because something happens on the 6th for the guys that something else also needs to happen on the 6th for the girls. There might be the 6th and the 8th or something, but certain events will happen in both stories, just told from different people, which... This sounds really messy, doesn't it? But if any of you have read Replica by Lauren Oliver, it is similar to that. Replica is told from Lyra and Gemma's perspective. And so this side is Lyra's story and that side is Gemma's story. So you read about half the book from this side, and then you can flip it over and read about half the book from this side. This is only 2 perspectives, 2 points of views, and a story that intertwines. They start in different places, but they sort of end up together and then split up and then end up in, they're in the same place at some points, and some points they're not. This is similar to what I'm doing, but I'm going to have 4 characters who will start in different spots-ish, and then be joined back together. And the way that Replica and also Ringer, which is the sequel, is built up is that you can read Lyra's story entirely through and then Gemma's story entirely through, or Gemma's and then Lyra's, or alternate chapters. That is sort of what I'm doing, but I don't think you'll be able to read every other chapter should you choose to. I think you need to start with either the guys or the girls read that to the end, flip the book over, if this is published into a physical book, and read the other story. That's how I want it to work, and that's what I'm going to aim to do. However, there's going to be a lot of planning going into the story, and I said in yesterday's video, or regarding that story, that one is going to need a lot of outlining to work and to tie up loose ends and to make the story come together, the world come together, all the wants and needs come together, basically. This, I want to say, isn't as outline heavy. Now, the difference for me between these two stories is that the witch story, that's big. It's a big world, it has a lot of impact, their actions have a lot of impact on other people and the city and stuff like that, and it's just a very large world to work around in, even though that one is a single perspective. That is only from Alyssa's perspective. This one is mostly a sweet, cute Christmas story, and of course it will have its ups and downs. I mean, life isn't just like an upward trajectory? Words. Life isn't just like always on the up. There will be ups and downs. But since I'm doing this from 4 points of view, which need to be different, they need to be distinct, and also how these stories actually do intertwine, that is going to take a lot of effort to do. The story itself, I don't think is going to be that difficult, because I don't need to solve any massive big plot issues and oh my god, what if we overthrow the government? What will happen then? No, it's a lot smaller and a lot more concise than that. I mean, this is a contemporary, and I'm not saying that contemporaries are not big and not powerful or any of that, but it's going to be easier in that regard because there aren't these like overarching, the world is about to end, we are the last people who can save the world, those kinds of dystopian thoughts and feelings. This is about these 4 characters and their families, mostly, and that will probably make it easier, but again, I need to be able to tie everything together and have these 4 voices be distinct and different, and also make sure that the timeline works out. Because I can't have the guys be like, oh yes, let's go ice skating today on the 4th. Let's bring the other 2, the girls. And then from the girls' perspective, they're off in a different city on the 4th. You know, that won't work. So planning like that will be required, but I feel like I've talked on for too long now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my corkboard, this one, and start pinning things into 2 columns. Because on here, for example, I have ice skating, but I haven't assigned that it's all of them, or just the girls, or just the guys. But I also have some things like this definitely happens to the girls, and this happens to the guys, and this happens to all of them. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to make 2 columns on this board, one for the guys, one for the girls, and then start putting post-it notes in for what is for each category of people. I really don't feel like I'm selling this well, but I do feel like I have a good idea of it in my head, so let's do that. Again with the great camera angles. I really need to use a better tripod for this camera, but I'm not at the moment, so that's that. It is currently 2:15 in the afternoon, and I have gotten some work done. I'm going to pause for lunch now, but I want to show you what I've gotten done. And I'm actually quite pleased with myself. So let's show you the board, the very messy board. So this is what I've done now. This post-it says A and N, which is for Andrew and Nick, and this one says E plus R, which is for Ella and Rosie. And then I've just kind of divided the different plot points up. So here in purple we have the ones that mostly affect the guys, and the green is the ones that mostly affect the girls, and the yellow in the middle are the ones that affect all of them or several of them. Now those ones are obviously going to be from someone's perspective or all perspectives, 2 perspectives, and will have to be slotted into the different sections as well. But it's going pretty well, and they're pretty even. I think I have 9 purple and 8 green, and then I have 9 yellow, and the yellow won't be their own category. Like I said, they will be in the purple and in the green. But yeah, it's coming together pretty well. Now I'm gonna break for lunch, like I said, And then I'm going to organize these in a logical order because now I've just put in things on top of things. There's not really a, this is the first thing that happens for the guys and this is the last thing. It's just a jumbled mess just in the respective categories. So I'm going to organize that and then look at the yellow ones as well, see if I can figure out any more what happens with those and put those into each category. And then I think I'm going to mark out which scenes, chapters, not really sure about the length of this yet, will be from which person's perspective. Because I have some notes that are very clear. I have, for example, in purple, have Andrew fake dating Ella. Probably from Andrew's perspective. Could also be from Nick's, so this didn't help at all. And then I have, for the girls, for example, I have ice skating, which that could be from Ella's, or Rosie's, or both. Or they could skate 4 times over the course of 3 weeks. Who knows? So that's what I'm going to do after lunch, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think this is on the thin side. Again, I don't really know how long this book is going to be, or these books are going to be, just because it is 2 books in one, sort of. And I mean, I could do a 50-60k for the girls and a 50-60k for the guys and just smush them together, or I'll keep them shorter than that just to not overwork myself. And also it does only take place over like a 3-4 week period, so I don't want to cram too much into it, I guess. I also don't think I will have everything entirely worked out when I start writing, and that's fine. That tends to be how I work. It wasn't how I worked for Going Up in Flames, the witch's story I wrote for NaNoWriMo, and it won't be how I work for Rising from the Ashes, which is book 2, the one I'm talking about in this vlog as well. So I don't really know my system. I don't really have a method that I always do, but that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm looking forward to the story though. I hope I'll start writing it before December is up, and while we still have something resembling a winter wonderland outside. Right now we actually have snow, but since this does take place in a small, cold town that gets snow, I really want to be surrounded by that atmosphere when I write it, and that won't be possible for very much longer because global warming. Anyway, I'm going to break for lunch now and then get back to this and let you know how I do. But I'm feeling pretty good about this so far, and I don't think I'm going to start writing today, probably, but maybe tomorrow or Thursday. That could be kind of nice. And I do hope when Marcus is done with what he's doing that we can keep outlining Rising from the Ashes, because that would be nice. And I think I'm more excited to start writing that one, or I just got really hyped to do that because of the outlining yesterday. I also have not told you the title for this one, the Christmas one. It doesn't have one. That was anticlimactic. I'm currently calling it 3 different things. I'm calling it I'm Dreaming of a Queer Christmas, Make the Yuletide Gay, and Christmas Queer. I want it to be punny. So far it's not quite there, but I'm working on it. And as for Going Up in Flames and Rising from the Ashes, I more and more feel like those are just the working titles and that I'll change that later, so nothing is set in stone on this channel. Anyway, breaking for lunch now, and then I'll get back to you. Alright, hello again. It is now 20 minutes past 3. I have had my lunch, and the sun has basically set, because welcome to the Northern Hemisphere and the Nordic countries and winter and nighttime, which starts at 3 p.m. I have now had my lunch. If you can hear some noise in the background, that's Marcus. He's making ice cream because he is making ice cream, and I am not upset about it because it means I'll get homemade ice cream, like, soon. I have also looked at this, and no, I don't know what the purple post-it notes are doing. I don't know why they're curling up like that, but I'm going to turn you around and talk a little bit more about what I've done and what I'm going to do moving forwards, because I am apparently making a lot of progress today, so let's keep making progress. So nothing has really changed in terms of the top bit. This is still Andrew and Nick, and that is still Ella and Rosie, and their respective notes going down, as well as the sort of communal joint ones. And this is an extra note that I don't really have space for right now. But I have gone ahead and organized the different storylines. So this is the order in which the purple will happen, this is the order in which the green will happen, and this is the order in which the yellow will happen. But this isn't complete. They aren't actually sitting lined up correctly. This does happen first, yes, but these two are on the same exact level, And that's not entirely true. Did that even make sense? Let's pretend that made sense. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sit down and try to put this into a calendar, sort of, because again, it takes place over 3 or 4 weeks around Christmas time, and I need to have some dates for certain things. I also do think I'm going to have to add to this because this does look pretty thin, and I don't know if I want to add to it now or if I want to sort of pants my way to those bits when I get there. But I'm going to turn this into a calendar. Before I do that though, I do want to give you a spoiler for my story. I have made this. This is the relationships between the different characters. And I've put a little key in here, which the red is love, so Andrew and Nick are in love, and Rosie and Ella are in love. Green means siblings, and that is Ella and Nick. Purple is fan, because Andrew is a writer and also writes fanfiction, and it turns out in the story that Rosie knows of him through his fanfiction. And that's going to be a really important moment for especially Andrew, but yeah. And then we have turquoise, which is childhood friends, because Andrew and Ella went to school together. The problem with this though is that I can't figure out a connection between Rosie and Nick right now. And I've been considering that she makes an online comic or art, or she's a really good photographer and puts a bunch of stuff on Instagram. I don't know, and I want to find a connection there too because I want there to be a connection between all of them. But hopefully, if that doesn't become clear from me outlining this, I'll figure it out while I write. Hopefully. Because I feel like if there's going to be connections between everyone except them two, that would be weird. Alright, it's been a little more time now. It is 4:37, same day, nothing else has changed. But I have made progress, and I think I've made all the progress I'm going to make with this story, at least today. So, I'm going to show you what I've done. Now, I actually pinned all these down because I don't trust the stickiness of them. I also don't really trust these pins, but I think they'll work better on a cork board than they do on cardboard. I also still have no idea why the purple ones curl up when they're from the same stack as the green ones, and they don't do that. But either way, still have the boys and the girls and their respective events that happen to them, as well as the ones that happen to all of them. On my computer, I have made a little calendar with the dates on the left and the events on the right, with the guys, all, or the girls. So the thing on the computer is actually the same thing as the pinboard, but that's how I put it all into dates. I also used a printout calendar to get an overview of when things would happen at a good sort of interval. And I've also marked the notes up with dates. Am I doing too many things and it's basically just the same thing over and over again? Maybe. But I feel like I now have a pretty good overview of in which order things happen, and not only which order, but also which dates. So I am very happy with that, and that is where I'm going to leave it tonight. I feel like I've come a very long way, far way, good way today. And what I have left is figure out if I have any holes that I should fill, and if so, with what, and also decide a bit on points of view. And I've been doing a bit of thinking, wondering if 4 POVs is actually too many, if I should just do 2, in which case I am going to do Andrew and Ella, because those seem like the most fun to write, basically, right now. But we're going to see. I'm going to think about that, maybe just overnight, maybe for a week, we'll see. But I'm really proud with how far I've come today and what I've gotten done, and it hasn't actually been that much time. Didn't I start at like 12:30 and now it's 4:30? That's not bad. I'm actually really pleased with that. So I'm going to leave it for now. Marcus and I might do some outlining for Rising from the Ashes later tonight, in which case I will let you know how that goes. But I am really proud of myself, like really proud. I feel like this is the most productive I've been in a long time, and it's not quite true because like when I did Nano I was pretty productive, writing 12,000 words a day some days, but still. I'm really pleased with this. Hello everyone, so it is now the next day, it's a little bit after 10 p.m. and I didn't do any more writing yesterday, or outlining for that matter. I felt very ill, let's just leave it at that, and I took the rest of the evening to just take it easy and take care of myself. And luckily it passed, it hasn't come back today either, so I'm very grateful for that. And then today happened, and I got a phone call from a place where I've applied for a job, and they want me to come in for an interview tomorrow. I applied sometime mid to late November, and then they called today asking me to come in tomorrow, so I got less than 24 hours notice. Very excited though, it's a job I would very much like to do, but that meant that today was spent sort of prepping for that. Not that I have that much to prep, but making sure I've printed the right papers and I have my references in order and all that. And then I just didn't get started on anything creative today. I think I just needed to not today. So tomorrow I'm getting up a lot earlier than I've been in the past little while and leaving, taking a train and going to the interview, and then we shall see. I think I'm going to be quite tired after the interview, if nothing else because you get nervous for the interview and you like tense up a bit. Also because this is the longest excursion I've done since I had my surgery over a month ago, like 5.5 weeks ago. So I think I'm going to be quite spent just after that, and I think I'm going to have to just find some lunch and then go back home. But on the off chance that I'm not too exhausted, I have talked to my friend Elin, who is my critique partner. I talked to her and asked if I could swing by so we could chat and catch up a bit, which I would very much enjoy to do, but it all depends on how exhausted I'm feeling tomorrow. Either way though, I don't know how likely it is that I'm going to be writing. If I end up spending time with her, I'm not even bringing my computer or anything, but if I end up spending time with her, I do hope to talk through some writing or talk a bit about writing, but not sure. And if I don't go see her and I just go straight home after lunch, then I think I'm still going to be too tired. We'll see. I mean, I won't know until tomorrow how I'm going to feel, and I'm not that stressed out and nervous about the interview, but I guess we'll just wait and see. I just wanted to come on here and update you a little bit because I haven't said anything to you guys for like over 24 hours. So that's what it is. I'm going to go to bed now and then hopefully update you tomorrow. Otherwise, I do hope to get a bunch of writing done on Friday. Marcus is taking a full-on writing day tomorrow. That is something he decided on a couple days ago already. And I sort of had intended to join him if I would have gotten further in the outline for book 2 of the Witch story, which I am more excited to work on than the Christmas one. Now, with me being gone on an interview, at the very least, gone for an interview tomorrow, I don't know if that's going to be a thing I do. I am most likely not going to join in tomorrow because, yeah, I won't be home until at least early afternoon, potentially much later than that. So it is what it is, but maybe I could do a writing day on Friday or Saturday. I need to get this outline worked on, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, that's where I'm leaving off tonight. I'm going to go to bed and get some rest, some sleep, hopefully, not just rest, and I'll hopefully talk to you tomorrow. Good night. Also, this arrived in the mail today, and I'm super excited to start reading it at some point. I don't know if I'm going to do it like this week or after New Year's or what the plan is, but at least I have it now, so I'm very excited to get started on it. Hello everyone! I did not realize just how tired I look before I turned on the camera and saw myself in the viewfinder, so I'm going to keep this short and sweet so we don't have to look at this for too long, either one of us. It is currently about 10:15 in the evening on the 12th of December. It's a Thursday. I went for an interview today. I ended up having to get up quite early because given the foot and its current situation, I can't really walk to the station. So I had to take a bus, and of course the bus and the train schedule doesn't line up, and so I took a bus, and then I had to wait at the station for like 50 minutes before the train showed up. So there was that, and then I went to the interview and grabbed some food afterwards, and then actually went to spend some time with my mum because I haven't seen her in a while, well over a month now, given the foot and all. So I wanted to spend some time with her, and she was available, so I did, and then went from their place to the station, and then took the train home. And then since the buses and trains don't run, you know, on a smooth, cohesive schedule, I would have had to wait for about 50 minutes again to take the bus home. And despite having used my foot a whole lot more today than I have in the past month and a bit, I decided to walk home. Anyway, I had company by Marcus, so I could stop and breathe and, you know, have someone to physically hold on to if I needed to, and that was a good help. So the walk home took like an hour instead of waiting for the bus for 50 minutes and then taking a bus for like probably 10 minutes. So it evened out. Today ended up being a lot more of a physical day than I had intended. physical day. Aren't all days physical? But then again, time is a construct, isn't it? And nothing is real. But yeah, it's been a lot more a physical day today than I thought it was going to be. I am so spent. Also, I've been up now for quite a few hours, but I am just really spent, and I feel like mush all over, which, you know, good or bad, who knows. But since coming home, and I got home about 6:45, I want to say, I have had dinner and then done nothing because I haven't really been able to. And now I'm about to go to bed because this needs to be cured. So I haven't done any writing or outlining or anything today. I have, however, been thinking about my story, primarily the second witch story or the first witch story, because this little detail could go into either one. I've been thinking about it, like at the back of my mind, and I read something about cursing. It wasn't actually about cursing, but something I read made me think someone should threaten someone to curse them, because I'm writing about witches. I think I said witch story. This makes sense. Anyway, I have not actively been thinking about it, but there have been a few things throughout the day that I've gone like, I can't snap these fingers, but I could insert that or play around with that idea. So it is what it is. I did not expect that I would get any writing done today, or any outlining for that matter. So there is that. I am, like I said, off to bed now. I'm hoping that tomorrow's Friday, I would love to continue the outline for the second witch book. But since I want to outline that with Marcus because it works better when I do it that way, especially for this series apparently, I really want to get it done soon so I can start writing it, because I'm really eager to start writing it, both writing book 2 and then going through and fixing book 1 and book 2 and doing that forever until it's fine, until it's good, until it's readable and people like it. But I would like to do that tomorrow, but he also has other plans, and I don't really have any other plans tomorrow, but since I want to do that with him, that's kind of dependent on him being present. So we'll see what tomorrow holds. I have babbled on for way too long now, and it's time for me to get ready and to go to bed. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully with more of an update and more to talk about, and less of a tired face, because this face is very tired, as is the rest of me. Hello, so it is now Friday. It is a little bit after midnight, so it's technically Saturday, but I'm gonna say it's Friday. Today has been a day of not really doing anything. I said to myself last night that I probably would need today to sort of recover from the extensive physical activity yesterday, which, like, it wasn't that much, but for me it was a lot. I walked a lot more than I have ever since I had my surgery 5 weeks ago, so understandably I was quite drained today. My arms feel like spaghetti. I feel like I've been exercising, basically. My arms feel like spaghetti. My thighs have been really sore, my foot's sore, and so on. And so I had a day where I did nothing in terms of productivity, which is fine, but I'm also wishing I would have been, but also I wasn't really able to be. I have now, however, made plans for tomorrow that I am gonna write. I'm gonna start the Christmas story that I have over there. I'm gonna start that, and then Marcus is planning to make chocolate balls, so what better time than that to continue the outline of the Witch Book number 2. Rising from the Ashes. I don't know how to name it, how to talk about it, because it is the sequel to the first Witch Book. It is Witch Book number 2, but both titles, which are currently Going Up in Flames and Rising from the Ashes, are probably going to change, but I don't know. Either way, that one will get outlined tomorrow. I don't know how far I'm going to get. I think we have one block left of Act 1, and then obviously all of Act 2 and Act 3, so it's a lot of work left to do. We'll see how far we get. And tomorrow I will also make a decision about how many words, or how I'm going to set a word goal probably, for the Christmas story for tomorrow. But I'm going to leave that decision up to post-sleep me, because current pre-sleep me doesn't want to make the decision. So yeah, I'm going to head off to bed now and sleep. Always good. And then talk to you tomorrow and hopefully have, more updates tomorrow. I feel like I keep saying that, but tomorrow is the day. Most likely. Good morning, I guess. It's a little bit afternoon on December the 14th. I can't believe we're already halfway through another month. I thought that just having a rest day yesterday would be enough to sort of get me back on track after my excursion on Thursday. And I don't know if that's the reason I'm still so tired, because I am extremely tired, or if that's just life, but I am extremely tired. I am, however, dressed for the first time since Thursday, because yesterday I just wore pajamas. I am dressed, I am fed, I am sitting at my desk and I have my computer up, so, I'm showing up, and I do intend to follow the plan I made yesterday, but we'll see how long I can keep my energy up for, I guess. I am going to start with writing, because Marcus is off doing his own thing right now, and then we're going to take a walk and have lunch, and then probably he's going to make chocolate balls, and then we'll outline for me. So I have the Christmas story outline right there, and I'm going to start working on that story. I'm thinking setting a word count goal like 2,000 words for today is reasonable. I haven't written since November ended, and so I don't want to say I'm rusty, but I'm starting a brand new story, which could either mean I get a lot of words done because, it's new and exciting, or I get next to no words done because, it's new and scary. But I'm going to set a word count goal for 2,000 words for the day, not for like the next hour or so, but for the day. And hopefully I'll get that, and hopefully I'll enjoy it, and hopefully it'll be good. Now, I have not set up my Scrivener file yet. I do intend to write this in Scrivener. I think that'll be easier. But I haven't set that up yet, so I'm just gonna start a new project in Scrivener and just start writing it, and then I'll sort of create the file later on as need be. I think it would save myself some time if I did it now, but also if I do it now, I'm gonna get stuck doing that and not actually get words done. So I am gonna start writing and let you know how it goes. It has been just under an hour. It was about 12:15 when I talked to you, and now it's 1:05. I have written 721 words in that time, so not awful, not amazing, but it's going. I'm following my outline still, and the story starts off in a pretty interesting way, so I kind of like it. I don't know, I feel a bit weird in general. I do, however, have a problem, and that is, I know a lot of people use the Project Target feature in Scrivener, but since I'm on Windows, the Windows version of Scrivener doesn't work exactly the same way as the Mac version does, and I mostly see people using the Mac version. And I know, for example, Kate Kavanaugh and many others, but I know she does it. She can sort of, I'm going to turn you around. She can sort of bring the mouse up here and get her targets and her progress, and I can't do that. And I can get to a place where I can make a manuscript target and a session target, which I've now done. But the session target starts off at minus 1,574. And that happened before I said the document itself should be 50,000 words. And before I started putting anything else in, that was at minus 1,574, which I don't know why. I really don't know why. And so I tried to reset it after a while, and then of course it went down again. But I'm gonna see what happens once I've written all those words. I'm not sure I will today, but I'm gonna see what happens then. Maybe I'll just copy paste just to see how that acts. But I don't understand why it's on minus. Anyway, we're gonna take a break now, have lunch, and go outside. And then I think we're gonna start with the outlining for the other story, like straight after. And then I'm gonna get back to this afterwards, hopefully. I really want to start on book 2, so we'll see what I do. But for now, lunch and walking, and then seeing you later. It's quite a few hours later now. It's about 9:20 in the evening, and about an hour ago I finished my 2,000 words for the day, so I did it. I wasn't actually sure I would. I've written 2,004 words today, so that feels good. Before then, Marcus and I also outlined for my second witch book, and I think we were at it for like 2 hours at least. And we have wrapped up Act 1. And that's it. I might have to add a little bit to the last chapter of Act 1, and we did figure out some backstory and some specific things that have happened in certain characters' pasts that will affect who they are and how they behave. But Act 1 is pretty much done. I have 2 more acts to go, and I know one thing that happens in the end of the entire book, but I am struggling to figure out exactly how everything else ties together and when it happens. Because, like, one problem is already solved in Act 1, but 2 or 3 more arise in Act 1, and we also have some problems following over from book 1 into book 2, so there is a lot. I'm hoping that we'll continue tomorrow and that we will be able to figure out this one hurdle that feels like the next hurdle to get over. And hopefully once we've figured out that, things will start falling into place. I'm not sure that's how it's going to go, but I can always hope. I'm also hoping that I'll have a Skype call with my friend and critique partner Elin this week, either tomorrow, Sunday, or this upcoming week, because she's really good. She has really good ideas usually, and usually just talking it through either with her or Marcus tends to solve these things, so fingers crossed. She also knows most of what happens in book 1, I want to say. Well, she's seen the outline, the original outline for book 1, and then I have just sent her random little bits and, oh, what if this person did this? And she's like, I don't even remember who that person is because it's been a while since we talked about it. So I'm going to have to fill her in on book 1 and also what I have so far for book 2. But hopefully it'll work out because, yeah, I'm still so excited about this story though. And the writing I've done today is for the Christmas story. I have written the first chapter from the guy's perspective, from the guy's side. And it's pretty good. I'm surprised that it felt so good since I'm not as into the story, but it also didn't feel as good as I think it would working on the witch story. So that's what that is. But I am excited to continue tomorrow, both with writing the Christmas story and hopefully outlining the second witch story. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow.